Hi everyone, David Weber here, broker and operating manager of State Property Management, serving Orlando and the greater Central Florida area. Today we're diving into a topic that every landlord needs to get right: how to properly handle a tenant's security deposit. This is one of the most common reasons landlords end up in court, not because they're bad people, but because they didn't follow the right steps or missed a deadline. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the right way to handle a tenant's security deposit in Florida, from move-out inspection all the way to refund, so you stay compliant and avoid costly disputes. Just a quick disclaimer here. I'm not an attorney, and this video is based on my experience as a property manager here in Florida. For legal advice specific to your situation, I recommend you consult with a qualified attorney. Now let's start with step one, knowing the rules and timelines, and let's start with the basics, the legal requirements. Under Florida law, once a tenant moves out, you have 15 days to return the full deposit if you're not making any deductions. If you are keeping part of the deposit, you have 30 days to notify the tenant in writing, explaining why and how much you're withholding. That written notice must, number one, be sent to the tenant's forwarding address, include an itemized list of deductions, and be sent within the 30-day deadline. And here's an important update. Under a new 2025 Florida law, if the tenant has signed the proper electronic delivery authorization form, you can now send the security deposit notice and disbursement electronically. This can speed things up and reduce delays, but make sure you have that signed authorization on file. This here is important. If you miss these deadlines, even by a day, you lose your right to make deductions. Security deposits must also be held in a separate account. Florida law requires that you notify the tenant in writing where the deposit is held and whether it is earning interest. If you're unsure, consult a legal professional, or better yet, work with a company like ours that handles this every day. Okay, here's step number two. You want to make sure to conduct a thorough move-out inspection. Before you even think about returning money, you need to inspect the property. Here's what we do at State Property Management. We reference the original move-in inspection and checklist. We conduct a detailed move-out inspection with photos and video, and we differentiate between normal wear and tear versus actual damage. When you see nail holes in walls, this is generally considered normal wear and tear. A hole punched in a door or ripped carpet, this you can consider as damage. And a stained toilet seat or broken mini blinds, that can be considered as damage as well. We document everything, and we're consistent with our criteria. If you're ever challenged in court, you need to show that your deductions are reasonable, documented, and not arbitrary. If all of this sounds like a lot to keep up with, you're not alone. At State Property Management, we handle detailed move-in and move-out inspections, secure deposit holding and compliance with Florida law, itemized notices for any deductions, timely returns with clear documentation. We don't just protect your property, we protect your legal liability and your reputation as a landlord. If you're tired of wondering whether you're doing it right, visit www.managecentralfloridaproperty.com and let us handle the details for you. Let's look at step number three, itemizing deductions clearly. If you're planning to withhold any portion of the deposit, you need to be crystal clear. Florida law requires that you send the tenant a written notice by certified mail or electronically if authorized, an itemized list of each deduction, the cost for each repair or replacement, and copies of receipts or vendor invoices if available. On the notice, don't just say, cleaning, $250. Make it clear, break it down. Deep cleaning of oven, bathrooms, and baseboards, $125. Carpet shampooing, $100. Trash removal, $25. And don't charge for things you can't prove. If you didn't document the damage, you could be on thin ice. Step four, make sure you return the balance within the deadline. I'm going to repeat that again. This is very important. Make sure you return that balance within the deadline. Once you've deducted what's appropriate and documented everything, return the remainder of the deposit. Send it to their forwarding address, or send it electronically if you have a signed authorization form from the tenant per the new Florida law. Include the itemized list and issue the refund as a check or e-check depending on your lease and tenant agreement. If the tenant didn't leave a forwarding address, you can send it to the last known address. Make sure everything is postmarked or sent within the legal deadlines. 15 days if there are no deductions, and 30 days if there are. Miss the deadline, and you forfeit your right to withhold any funds, even if the tenant left damage. And finally, step 5, avoiding the most common mistakes. And here's where a lot of landlords, especially do-it-yourself owners, slip up. Commingling funds. You cannot mix the deposit with your personal or business accounts. Missing the notice deadline. Remember, 30 days to notify the tenant of deductions. Charging for normal wear and tear. That will lose in court every time. No move-in documentation. If you didn't document it at the move-in, it's your word against theirs. Making deductions you can't back up. No photos, no invoice equals no case. And also note, if you hold a deposit in a Florida interest-bearing account, certain rules may apply about how that interest is handled. I recommend you check with your attorney about this. Handling a tenant's security deposit the right way protects you from lawsuits, negative reviews, and unnecessary stress. It also shows tenants that you're professional, fair, and not looking to take advantage. Follow Florida law, keep everything documented, and treat it like a legal transaction, because it is. And if you'd rather not deal with the deadlines, inspections, or paperwork, let us do it for you. Visit www.managecentralfloridaproperty.com to learn how we help property owners across Orlando and the Central Florida area manage their rentals legally and profitably. If this video helped you out, hit the like button and subscribe for more Florida property management tips. I'm David Weber, broker and operating manager at State Property Management. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.